all that out. All right, I think it's time now then to dive into the Book of Unusual Knowledge. This is a bathroom reader book that I got at the thrift store a while ago. It is just overflowing with fun facts and interesting information. I'd like to share some of it with you if you don't mind. So this article is titled Hair, There, and Everywhere. I promise it's not going to be one of those film strips from the 50s we all watched in health class. So here's something crazy. If you're an average non-balding person, I don't like being referred to as a balding person, but if we're going to reduce me down to that, I guess we'll do it in this book. If you're an average non-balding person, you have approximately 100,000 hairs on your head. And that's a lot of hair. I think it's even more shocking when you find out, though, that people normally shed about 50 to 100 hairs every day. And if you're my cats or my roommate, that is like quintupled. This is the hairiest house in all of America. Between my back, my roommate's head, the cats, and the dog, there is hair on every conceivable surface. I don't know how hair gets the places that it does. It's like glitter. If you've ever crafted with glitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It gets everywhere, and once it's on your sweater, there's no getting it off. I'll tell you what. So, yeah. If you're wondering why your house is so hairy, it's because every single person in it is losing like 50 to 100 hairs. Do you know, in a family of 5, that means that they're losing like 500 hairs a day? Ugh, I hope you got a Roomba, girl, because that's the only way I can keep up on it. The Guinness World Record holder for longest hair is a Chinese woman named Xi Kuiping, that's what I'm going with, whose hair measures a whopping 18.5 feet long. Could you imagine brushing 18-foot hair? I won't go off of a 15-foot diving board, and she could literally dip her hair into it from the top of the diving board. Very impressive, she. Most hair grows about 6 inches per year, and men's hair tends to grow faster than women's hair. Isn't that interesting? Man, I remember I used to do a lot of theater, and every time one of the makeup artists had to do my makeup, or the makeup on any of the boys in a couple of the shows I was in, like, it's not fair. Boys have such better eyelashes. It's not fair. I'm like, well, I don't do anything to them, and you're sitting there, you know, playing with them, plucking them, covering them in makeup. I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. That's just me. Call me crazy, but I've never paid attention to my eyelashes before. Not one time have I looked at my eyelashes and been like, wow, dang, you look good today. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to it that way. Like, women maybe play with their hair a little bit more, dye it, process it a little more, so it's just not growing as quickly. Okay, so here's something that's a fun fact for you. Hair is made of the same thing as your fingernails. It's called keratin. But keratin can be found in all sorts of stuff. It's like a protein. Keratin is also what a lot of fly poop is made out of. When you break down the chemical compound of fly poop, it's made out of keratin as well. Rhino horns are made out of keratin. A lot of different kinds of horns and feathers contain keratin. There was one that was really... turtle shells. Turtle shells are made, so they're bone, and then they're covered in keratin as well. So that protein helps basically any part of your body that's like, you know, your shiny, your hair, your nails, your vitamin E body parts. Those are keratin, which I think is very, very interesting. And finally, a single strand of hair can support up to 100 grams of weight. That's just under 1/4 pound. So that's pretty impressive. It actually has some tensile strength, I believe is what that's called. If it's not, please don't correct me. I don't care to know the real word. That's the Book of Unusual Knowledge. Let's check